And this is RS2 guest house. Probably some of the cheapest accommodation. That's right in the middle of Phnom Penh, Cambodia. So you've got RS1 guest house, RS2 guest house, and it's right in the middle of Phnom Penh. And this is Street 178, so they're all on 178, right in the middle of Phnom Penh. And you've got the Royal Palace Gardens over there, and just behind that's the Royal Palace. And on the other far corner down here, you've got the museum, the Phnom Penh Museum. So RS guest house number 1 down there. RS2 guest house up here, and they got security at the gate, and you get issued a card, so it's a very safe guest complex. So you know, either have a single room, your own room, or a shared room, or a dormitory, and they serve breakfast and all that type of stuff. So if you want some cheap accommodation in Phnom Penh, Cambodia, come here. Now RS3 also have a hotel, which is a little bit upmarket from the hostel, where you have your own room and air conditioner and your shower and all that. So it's a little bit up more market, but they all belong to the RS group. So RS2 here, RS3 down this alleyway next to RS2, and RS number 1 hostel just down there by the red umbrella. Now we'll go down the alleyway next to here, and we'll just see 2 more hotels down here that are really cheap if you want some good accommodation. Here is RS2, and it's pointing down to RS Hotel number 3. So the other 2 are guest houses. This is a hotel where you get your own room. Still really cheap. And there's also another hotel down here which is really cheap, really ultra cheap. This is another. We're in the same alleyway, walking down to the RS Hotel. But before we get that, there's another cheap hotel here. And they serve breakfast. A really nice breakfast. And it's called Narwan Guest House. And you get really looked after there, and they have a really good breakfast. So check these 2 places out if you want some really cheap accommodation. We're talking between $12 and $15 a night. So here's the name of this guest house. And they'll do all your booking services, bus, train, minivans, other flight tickets. They'll do everything for you here.
Remember me?
Yeah, I remember you. So if you're checking out some really cheap accommodation, come here. And they'll do everything for you. You don't need to go to any other travel agency. This is what the rooms look like. It has no elevator, only stairs. But the rooms are really clean, and you've got TV and Wi-Fi. So it's, well, you know, if you're in a budget accommodation, come to these places here, right in the middle of Phnom Penh. You know, I mean, the city's only 1 minute walk away, and the Royal Palace is right opposite of them. Here's one of the guys. How are you today?
Yeah, I'm good.
How long you know me?
Just around 10 years. Yeah?
10 years, you've been here 17 years.
Yeah.
And you're a tuk-tuk driver?
Yeah.
Yeah, and he works, his tuk-tuk is right here. So he's always parked outside the Narwan Hotel. So if you see him, he'll give you a good service. We've come to the end of the alleyway, and on the right hand side, right at the end of the alleyway, is the RS hotel. So if you want a little bit more upmarket, you start the hotel instead of the hostel. But I can't tell you the prices because they vary from month to month depending on the number of people that stay. But this is the RS, is a little bit more upmarket than the RS1 and the RS2 hostels. But if you're not happy here, just go back round the corner here, back down this alleyway. And so we're coming back down the alleyway now. And the Narwin Hotel, guest house. The rooms are exactly the same as a hotel room. And you know, if you're looking for budget accommodation, you can stay here for 1 day, 1 week, 1 month, 2 months, and they give you special rates if you stay longer. So check this out. I recommend that you not book online at any of these places. Just come and book. You'll get a better rate than booking online. So once again, the RS1 hostel and the hotel is just down the end of that alleyway. We've just been down there. And the Narwin guest house is also down in the alleyway. And Riverside is just down the end of the street. And the museum is with the one with the orange roof over there. At the end of on the middle of the screen, the orange roof. And the Royal Palace Gardens are there, and the Royal Palace is just beside that. So you're right in the middle of Phnom Penh city, and a lot of nightlife around this area.
I know you long time.
Yeah, how long you know me?
Yeah, you from Australia.
That's right.
You like to diamond.
Yeah, I've been here 17 years.
I know you long time.
Yeah, probably 17 years. So,
Around city too?
no, no. So all these guys will give you, you know, a ride around Phnom Penh. If you're doing photography work like a GoPro or cinematography work, it's good to take these guys. So, but don't have your camera or anything sticking out outside the tuk-tuk. Do it from inside the tuk-tuk, otherwise you'll have your camera or GoPro stolen, snatched. So this is RS Market and Guest House. So this is number 1 here. So you've got a good choice of cheap accommodation. And right next door, you've got the massage place, and you know, you can see the $5, $3 and $5 massages there. Add another $10 to $15 and you'll come out a happy man or a woman. They do both. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. And it's right next to the RS Smart, and the other RS hotels, the Narwin Hotel, is just down there. So this is Street 178, the same street the museum is in, and these are just like 100 metres from Riverside. This is the ABA ATMs, and they take all credit and debit cards from around the world. You know, they take them all, Australia, New Zealand, Canada, Britain, whatever country you come from. They'll take your credit cards or debit cards, and instead of getting $100 notes, which are really hard to change, if you're drawing out money, draw out 90 or 110 or 190 or 210 or 290 or 310, and you'll get a whole selection of different denominations of currencies. If you draw out 100, 200, 300, you'll get 3 $100 Australian note, American money, and it's really hard to change. So you want to mix your things up, cut your thing like $80, you'll get some 10s and some 20s. If you draw out 100, you'll get a $100 note. If you draw out 140, you'll get 10s, 20s, 50s. So if you want some small denominations, cut your thing down. No 100, 200, 300, 400, 480, 380, 160, 240, and you'll get all the denominations you want. So that's the Phnom Penh Museum over there. So, and the Street 13 runs off that right through the middle of Phnom Penh and goes to the markets where you can buy all your barbecue chickens and pork and everything else. Take it back to your guest house. So that's the museum there, the Royal Palace Gardens, and the cheap accommodation for those that are on budget, or if you're not on a budget, they're really good rooms, you know, for the price. And the longer you stay, the cheaper it is. And they include breakfast, which is a really nice breakfast, bacon, eggs and baked beans and everything. So you don't have to be on a budget to stay on these places. Here's a menu, one of the restaurants along Street 178, and the price of the food. Beers are 50 cents. Take the cigarettes, 60 cents. So you can have like share accommodation, like a shared dorm, or a dorm with 4 people, 6 people, 8 people, 10 people, 2 people, or your own individual room. So the price depends on what type of room you get. So like a shared dorm is, you know, like $3 or $4, $5. In the same street, and it's just next to the RS guest houses and hotels, there's this a more upmarket hotel. It's got a swimming pool on the roof and a sky bar right on the top, and I think it's the last time I used the swimming pool was $5, and it was free. If you spend X amount of dollars, it's free. But you'll have to go and find out the latest prices, because I'm talking a few months ago now. So this is the entrance to the restaurant here. The hotel. And the RS guest houses are only like 50 metres down the road down there. So if you want just a little bit more upmarket, you can stay here. And their rooftop balcony overlooks the Royal Palace, so you can look down into the Royal Palace and the Royal Gardens, and got a 360 view of Phnom Penh, the Mekong River, and the city at night. So if you want to go out for a cold beer and have a good view of the city at night and the Royal Palace all lit up at night, then come up and take the elevator up to the Sky Garden. So they got this called the Royal Sky Bar, and you got the river views, cocktails and food, rooftop swimming pool. So it all depends how much you want to, you know, your budget is. Cambodia or Phnom Penh caters from everything, you know, from budget to the top 5-star hotels. So that's the view you see of Phnom Penh from the roof, the Sky Bar. I highly recommend coming here, you know. If you just have a beer I think a beer are about $1.50 here. If you just have a beer, you can spend the whole night just looking over the city at night. I recommend coming at 5 p.m. at night, and then you'll see the sunset over the Mekong River, and you'll see the city turn into from daylight to dark. So 5 p.m. is probably the best time to come. So we're still in Street 178, and the guest houses and the hotels are just there, and a few metres along going towards Riverside. We've got a 24-hour mini mart, small mini mart. It's open 24 hours a day, and if you purchase anything, you'll get a Wi-Fi, so you can sit out and use your Wi-Fi here. All mini marts in Phnom Penh Cambodia and Cambodia got Wi-Fi. So just buy, you know, a can of Coke or can of beer for 60 cents, and you can use your Wi-Fi. And they don't change their number, so you can come back every day and just sit down there and not buy anything and still use the Wi-Fi. And across the road they've got a pharmacy that still sell most modern European medicines and medications. Hello, mate. You know me a long time? Yeah.
Cambodia.
Yeah, many years. Yeah. So we've got that farm. We're still in Street 178. And there's the small mini mart. And if you want a really, really cheap meal, which is really, really yummy, you know, like $2, $2.50, go to the restaurant on the corner here. That restaurant there's also got a guest house in it. And down the street you can see the Royal Palace, the end of the street. So we're right in the middle of the Phnom Penh city. So lots of options to eating and budget accommodation and mid-range accommodation. So once again, the pharmacies over there, Smile and the RS and other hotels I've just shown you. So if you come and you want something really, really cheap restaurant, then you can also stay here. There's this one on the corner here. They have really, really cheap food, and it's really, you know, it's cooked under hygienic conditions. They've got refrigeration, so you've got no worries about getting, you know, tummy trouble. So the food's really good here. You can also stay here. There's some of the prices here. The average from $2 to $3. You can either sit inside or outside, and they've got Wi-Fi. Right in the middle of the city. You can buy all your bus tickets, train tickets, whatever mode of transport you want to go. If you're going from Phnom Penh to any of these places here, they'll sell you the tickets here right outside this restaurant. If you want to see any of these places in Phnom Penh, it's best to go on these tours here. It's usually between $5 and $7, depending on the people that are, the number of people that are on the bus. Little minivans they are, and they'll take you around to these places here. There's 4,000 real per $1 American dollar, so just divide it by 4. So 8,000 is $2, 12,000 is $3, 20,000 is $5, 50,000 real is $12.50, 100,000 real is $25. It's easy to convert, so just divide by 4. So 16,000 real is divided by 4 is $4. 25,000 real, divide it by $6. Very, very easy. So you can't get mixed up in Cambodia as long as you know your times table that you're supposed to learn at school many years ago. Just divide everything by 4 to get the American dollar. I'm just going to add one more thing. We're still in 1 Street 178. We've done the mini mart and the pharmacy and the really cheap meals, and here I know they're really, really good because I rented that apartment for almost 5 years. I lived there and it was $46 American dollars per month, and it didn't have Wi-Fi, and I used to sit on the balcony and use the Wi-Fi from down in the restaurant. But if I went inside the lounge or the bedroom, I lost my Wi-Fi. So that's a long time ago history. But where else in the world could you rent an apartment that cheap, that looked over the Royal Palace and the Royal Palace Gardens? Imagine any other country in the world would be in the thousands of dollars to rent an apartment around the Royal Palace. So I landed at the Lotus Guest House, and I'll leave all my details down below. If you want to contact me, anything about Cambodia, Phnom Penh, about accommodation, long time visas, anything, you're coming for a holiday or want to stay long term, you want to work here, retirement here, whatever you want to know about Phnom Penh or Cambodia, just leave me a message and I'll get back to you with all the details. So this is all for this video. Please subscribe, like and share my channel, and I'll be posting between 2 and 3 videos every week. All the best, good luck. Yes, I'm an Australian New Zealand guy, and I've been living in Cambodia for 17 years. All the best,